Hello for the midweek equipment view, June 10th. And it has not rained here since yesterday. Although it sprinkled today a little bit, just misted. So mid 1980s here, yeah, 1984, 84, and 85. So this is neat. Foremost Delta, they made a Foremost Nodwell, or was Nodwell its own machine? Foremost. No, Nodwell's was its own brand. There's all the good stuff coming up in the mid 80s in summer. (1982) D8L, that was the first year of its introduction, but you could also buy a 1982 Cat D8K, so there was an overlap in that year. Yes, these machines have all seen cold starts. Lots of Euclids. A ton of them here. See if there's a picture of them. Tons of them. Detroit's 318 Jimmies. Man, that's a ton of, that's all the same truck. No, 23 tons, 43s. I hope they got pictures in here of them. The Tucker Snowcat. What kid wouldn't want one of those? Oh, here's some Ukes. This is all creased out here. Kind of primitive. Like, that's called the Athey wagons. Then down to where there's no such thing as cold starts, Los Angeles. All nice warm starts. Warm climate, warm everything. Machines are already warm when they go to start them at 7 in the morning, probably. I've only been there once, I think. The mighty Fiat Alice HD41. They were supposed to be just something else and push like crazy. Outwork a D9, it was said. Nice looking Deere self-elevating scraper. And now there can't be anybody here that's an aficionado on something like that. So, and it's through reading Ritchie's, reading them, through browsing through them for decades, you see this crazy stuff that no one's ever heard of. So that's out there. The hood's got a little bit of a look from the front and the top of a Hayes. The cab is more like a rock truck, like an old Euclid with the flat pane glass. The side is square enough to be a Hayes in the back. A bit of every design. That's a surprise. That's a one-off. So there, kids, or kids, there you learned something today. And some nice clean loaders. I'm sure a bunch of these are still around. Stuff probably didn't rust away like up here. It disintegrates. Well, after decades and decades, it gets pretty ugly. And the hometown one here. Good old Logan Bush BC stuff in its own league. I think it was in the 1990s in BC, there was 2,100 logging companies. I wouldn't even want to know today how few there are, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the high hundreds. But could still be 1,500 or something, but it's the heyday's over. So good looking Medills. All Medills are good looking. .90-foot, but that's not an 046 because it doesn't have the 3 boxes there for, so that's just an 09. That is a rare bird. There was only 6 to 8 of those ever made in the early 70s. Washington was known for like their TL 15s and 20s, the Washington track loader line. And that was a sort of a mad scientist experiment. I think they made 8 of them, maybe 7, maybe 10, but it was under 10. Apparently they could lift like 51,000 pounds. They're just behemoths. Heck, it could lift any machine that was lifting any log as well, probably, but I guess they didn't take off. But 1984, that was the last 4, 5, 6 year run of the old growth too. The big stuff down. Or no, that's not stateside. That's an American machine, but no, the BC old growth, I kept logging. Olympic Peninsula shut down with a spotted owl in the early 90s. So. Case 350. They did not make the world's most attractive equipment back then. Their new stuff all looks all rounded and aerodynamic and Ford Taurus-like, but their original stuff wasn't. Could have used another hour on the drawing board. Cool ring. They put the cab. I had the cab on the other side. I'm sure there's a reason. But my dad and I had a little propane-powered dump truck. That might even been it. It had gone through the auction a couple times. It was bought in 89 or 91, parked at our place, and we ended up just sort of taking it over from the guy that bought it. It was on propane with a 427 in it. We used it a little bit on site, hauling stumps and stuff. It was kind of entertaining. One thing I learned about propane systems, you want to make a big bang and scare everybody within 20 acres, is shut the engine off using it in gear as an exhaust brake, the engine compression, and then turn the key back on. So that even scared me the first time. So basically the propane system, or the exhaust system, is filling up with propane, and then igniting the ignition there makes a good long backfire through all 12 feet of exhaust. Sounds awesome. Gives you that little kid grin and snicker when it happens. But let's see if I can stay under 10 minutes. It never happens. Here. Back page. Oh, I missed it. Okay. and sawmills. But sawmill auctions have been a regular thing right up till ongoing. Our wood business is not in good shape. All right, thanks for watching.